Hey, 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 welcome back to Learn English Naturally.
Hey everyone, Ethan here, and I am genuinely fired up about today's episode.
You sound like you had 3 coffees this morning.
Maybe 4, honestly, but also today's topic just excites me.
Okay, tell everyone what we're doing today.
Today, we're learning how to answer any question in English on the spot.
Any question. Job interviews, small talk, random surprise questions from strangers.
Even the dreaded, "So, tell me about yourself."
Oh no, not that question.
Everyone's least favorite 5 words in the English language.
Honestly, Ethan, I used to completely freeze on that one.
Really? You, Miss Confident podcast host?
Miss Confident podcast host had 0 confidence in job interviews, trust me.
What happened exactly?
Someone asked me a simple question and my brain just went completely blank.
The classic mental freeze.
Exactly. Not because I didn't know English, because I didn't know how to organize an answer fast.
That's such an important distinction, honestly.
It really is. Knowing words isn't the same as knowing how to respond quickly.
Which is exactly what today's whole episode solves.
We're giving you a real system, a structure, something you can use immediately.
Whether it's a job interview, a casual chat, or a totally random question from a stranger,
By the end of today, question types won't scare you anymore.
you'll have a plan, a method, something automatic to reach for.
We'll practice live, together, several different question types.
We'll show you exactly what to say when you genuinely don't know the answer.
And of course, our vocabulary breakdown near the end as always.
But first, your turn, in the comments right now.
Complete this sentence. The question that always makes me freeze is...
Be honest, we read every single comment every time.
And don't worry, I already confessed mine. Tell me about yourself broke me completely.
Broke you completely live on the podcast for everyone to hear.
Exposed. Fully exposed. Anyway, let's fix this together right now.
Let's do it.
Ethan, quick question before we dive in. Is this only useful for interviews?
Not at all. This works for interviews, small talk, even random questions from strangers.
So basically any situation where someone throws a question at you.
Exactly. Family gatherings, work meetings, even a taxi driver making conversation.
Taxi drivers really do ask the toughest questions sometimes.
So, what do you do for work? Suddenly, a full interview at 8 in the morning.
No warning at all, just straight into it.
Which is exactly why we need something automatic, something ready to go.
I love that this episode is basically a toolkit, not just a lesson.
Exactly. A toolkit you can reach for in any situation, starting today.
Okay, Ethan, let's start with the real question. Why do we freeze in the first place?
A few reasons, actually, and they all stack on top of each other.
Give me the first one.
Pressure. A real question from a real person expects an answer immediately.
There's no pause button, no time to think quietly.
Exactly. And that pressure alone can make your mind go completely blank.
What's the second reason?
Perfectionism. Learners want a grammatically perfect answer instantly.
So they're trying to write an essay in their head in real time.
Exactly. And that's simply too much mental work for a live conversation.
Third reason.
No structure. Without a plan, your brain has to build an answer from nothing.
Starting from a blank page every single time.
Exactly. And starting from nothing is exhausting and slow.
Is there a fourth reason?
Honestly, fear of being wrong, fear of sounding silly or unintelligent.
That fear is so real, honestly. I felt that constantly.
Almost everyone does. It's incredibly common, not a personal weakness.
So it's pressure, perfectionism, no structure, and fear all combined.
Exactly. All 4 working together, creating that frozen feeling.
So how do we actually fix all 4 at once?
With one single tool. Structure.
Just structure? That solves everything?
Structure removes the blank page. It removes the guessing. It removes the panic.
Because you're not building from nothing anymore.
Exactly. You're filling in a familiar shape instead of inventing one.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's build that structure together.
Let's do it step by step.
Before we move on, is freezing actually a language problem or something else?
Honestly, it's mostly a performance problem, not a language problem.
Interesting. What do you mean by a performance problem?
It means you actually know the words, but the pressure blocks access to them fast.
So the knowledge is there, it just can't come out fast enough.
Exactly, like a locked door with the key right next to it.
That's such a relatable image, honestly.
And once you realize that, the whole problem feels less scary.
Because it's not about ability, it's about access under pressure.
Exactly, and structure is simply the key that unlocks that door quickly.
Before the structure, though, don't different questions need different answers?
Great point, yes. So first, let's sort questions into simple categories.
Okay, category 1.
Yes or no questions. Do you like coffee? Have you been here before?
Simple, direct, one clear answer expected.
Exactly, though never just say yes or no alone.
Why not? It answers the question technically.
Because it kills the conversation instantly. Always add one extra sentence.
So yes becomes, yes, actually, I have coffee every single morning.
Exactly. That one small addition keeps everything flowing naturally.
Category 2.
WH questions. What, where, when, why, who, and how.
Noted. These need actual details, not a simple yes or no.
Right. And why questions specifically need a reason, always.
Category 3.
Opinion questions. What do you think about? How do you feel about?
These are personal. There's no single correct answer.
Exactly, which actually makes them easier once you realize that.
Category 4.
Hypothetical questions. What would you do if you could?
Those genuinely terrify me a little.
They terrify almost everyone, honestly. They feel unpredictable.
Why do they feel harder than the others?
Because they require imagining something, not just recalling a fact.
So there's an extra mental step involved.
Exactly, but the same structure still works perfectly for these two.
Okay, that's reassuring. Same tool, every question type.
Exactly. One flexible structure working across every single category.
All right, let's finally build it. What's the actual structure?
It's called PREP. Point, reason, example, point again.
Break that down for us.
Point, give your main answer, immediately, in one short sentence.
So no warming up, just answer directly first.
Exactly. Then reason, explain why briefly in one sentence.
So point, then reason. What comes next?
Example, give a small, specific example that supports your reason.
And the final P?
Point again. Restate your answer briefly to close it cleanly.
Point, reason, example, point. That's genuinely simple to remember.
That's exactly why it works so well under real pressure.
Does the structure change at all depending on the question type?
Not really. The shape stays the same, only the content shifts slightly.
Understood. So PREP is really one tool for every category.
Exactly, which is honestly the most powerful part of this whole system.
What about really short questions, like, are you okay?
Even that can use a mini version, honestly.
A mini version? Give me an example.
Yes, I'm okay. Just a bit tired because it's been a long week.
Point, quick reason, all in one natural breath.
Exactly. The full structure just compressed for a smaller question.
Okay, before we practice, what if you need a second to think?
Great question, and there's a whole toolkit for exactly that.
Give us some phrases.
That's a great question. Let me think about that for a second.
Simple, natural, buys you real thinking time.
Exactly, and native speakers use these constantly, not just learners.
Give us a few more.
Good question. Well, let me see.
These sound so natural, honestly, almost invisible.
That's the goal. They buy time without sounding like you're stalling.
What about when a question is genuinely confusing?
Could you clarify what you mean by that? Perfectly natural, completely fine.
So asking for clarification isn't a failure, it's a normal tool.
Exactly. Native speakers ask for clarification constantly too.
Okay, let's actually put PREP into action.
Let's do it, live, right now.
Ethan, why do you enjoy podcasting?
I genuinely enjoy podcasting because it connects with people. I enjoy it because every conversation teaches me something new. For example, last week a listener shared a story that completely changed my perspective. So overall, connection is really why I love doing this.
That was smooth, honestly, and clearly structured.
That's point, reason, example, point. point, all in about 15 seconds.
My turn now?
Your turn. Emma, what's your favorite way to relax?
My favorite way to relax is reading before bed. It relaxes me because it completely disconnects my mind from work. For example, last night I finished an entire chapter without checking my phone once. So reading, honestly, is my favorite way to truly unwind.
Look at you. Perfect PREP, first try.
I actually feel proud of that answer, weirdly.
You should. That's exactly the confidence this structure builds.
Can we try one more together just to really lock this in?
Absolutely. Go ahead. Ask me something.
Ethan, why did you start learning about teaching English in the first place?
Honestly, I started because I struggled with a language myself once. I remember that struggle vividly, and I didn't want others to feel that alone. For example, I once froze completely trying to order food abroad years ago. So, really, that memory is why I care so deeply about this now.
Wow, I didn't know that story, honestly.
See? Structure doesn't just organize facts, it makes room for real meaning, too.
Okay, let's try a harder one, a hypothetical question.
Perfect. Go ahead. Ask me.
If you could live anywhere in the world, where would you choose?
That's a great question. Let me think about that for a second.
Take your time, that's totally natural.
I think I would choose somewhere near the ocean. I'd choose that because water genuinely calms my mind. For example, whenever I'm near a beach, I feel instantly more relaxed. So somewhere coastal, honestly, would be my ideal choice.
Even a hypothetical question fit perfectly into the same structure.
Exactly. That's the whole beauty of PREP.
Let's try an opinion question now.
Go for it.
What do you think about working from home?
Honestly, I think working from home has real benefits. I think that because it removes commuting time completely. For example, I now use that extra hour every morning for exercise. So overall, I'm genuinely a fan of remote work.
Clean, confident, complete, every single time.
All right, my turn to challenge you now.
Uh-oh.
Emma, tell me about yourself.
Of course you picked that one.
I had to, honestly, for dramatic redemption purposes.
Well, I'm someone who genuinely loves language and connecting with people. I love that because words have always felt like tiny puzzles to me. For example, this podcast started from exactly that curiosity years ago. So in short, I'm someone driven by curiosity and connection.
Emma, that was incredible, genuinely.
The question that used to break me completely just now.
And look how naturally it came out this time.
Structure really does change everything, doesn't it?
Everything. Structure turns fear into a repeatable, reliable system.
Let's do one final round, a completely random question this time.
Oh no. Random questions are always the scariest kind.
Ethan, if you had an extra hour every single day, what would you do with it?
Great question. Let me actually think about that for a second. I think I'd spend that hour reading, honestly. I'd choose that because I rarely make time for it during a normal day. For example, I have 3 unfinished books sitting on my shelf right now. So an extra hour would finally go toward finishing those for sure.
Impressed. Even a completely random question and still smooth, still structured.
That's the whole point. This system works no matter what's thrown at you.
Okay, Ethan, what happens when you genuinely don't know something?
Great question, because that happens constantly, even to native speakers.
Good, I need to hear that.
The key is never staying silent. Silence feels worse than an imperfect answer.
So, what should you say instead?
I'm not totally sure, but my guess would be...
That's honest, and it still keeps the conversation moving.
Exactly. Honesty plus effort beats silence every single time.
What about specific vocabulary you're missing mid-sentence?
Describe around it instead of freezing completely.
Give an example of that.
Forgetting umbrella? Say, the thing you use when it rains.
Simple, functional, gets the point across perfectly.
Exactly. Communication matters far more than perfect vocabulary.
What if the question is factual and you truly have no idea?
I actually don't know that one, but I'd love to find out.
Turns a gap into genuine curiosity instead of embarrassment.
Exactly. And people respect honesty far more than fake confidence.
Let's practice that one too.
Go ahead. Ask me something oddly specific.
What's the exact population of Portugal?
Oh, absolutely no idea.
Perfect. Now use your phrase.
I honestly don't know that exact number, but I'd guess around 10 million.
Impressed. See, still a full, confident answer even without knowing the fact.
Exactly. Unknown facts don't have to mean silence or panic.
I think this section might be the most freeing part of today.
Agreed. Not knowing something is normal, not a failure.
What if you mishear the question completely and answer the wrong thing?
Oh, that happens constantly, even to fluent speakers, honestly.
Good, because that's happened to me more times than I can count.
Just say, sorry, I think I misunderstood. Could you say that again?
Short, polite, and completely normal in any conversation.
Exactly. Nobody thinks less of you for asking someone to repeat something.
What if you already started answering the wrong question, though?
Just laugh it off and say, oh, wait, sorry. Let me actually answer that properly.
Honestly, that sounds more human than a perfect answer would.
Exactly. Small, honest mistakes make conversations feel real, not robotic.
All right, everyone, let's break down 5 useful words and phrases from today.
First, to freeze up.
To freeze up means to suddenly become unable to think or respond.
You could say, she froze up completely during the interview question.
Let's repeat it. To freeze up.
To freeze up.
Second, to buy time.
To buy time means to create a short delay before answering or acting.
You could say, he used a simple phrase to buy time before answering.
Let's repeat it. To buy time.
To buy time.
Third, to clarify.
To clarify means to make something clearer or ask for clearer information.
You could say, could you clarify what you meant by that question?
Let's repeat it. To clarify.
To clarify.
Fourth, a gap.
A gap means a missing piece, like a word or a fact you don't know.
You could say, he had a small gap in vocabulary, but described around it easily.
Let's repeat it. A gap.
A gap.
And fifth, on the spot.
On the spot means immediately, right in that exact moment without preparation.
You could say, she had to answer a tough question completely on the spot.
Let's repeat it. On the spot.
On the spot.
5 genuinely useful phrases straight from today's practice.
Try one this week, in a real conversation, even a small one.
Let's actually add a couple more since today was such a big topic.
Good idea. Sixth, to stall.
To stall means to delay something on purpose, usually to gain more time.
You could say, he stalled for a moment before answering the tricky question.
Let's repeat it. To stall.
To stall.
And 7th, off the top of my head.
This means answering instantly from memory without checking anything first.
You could say, off the top of my head, I'd say around 50%.
Let's repeat it. Off the top of my head.
Ethan, I genuinely feel different after today's episode.
Different how?
Like, tell me about yourself doesn't scare me anymore.
It shouldn't. You just answered it beautifully live on this very episode.
I did. I actually did.
All right, here's your challenge for this week, everyone listening.
Pick one question that always makes you freeze.
Then answer it using point, reason, example, point, out loud today.
It'll feel awkward the first time. That's completely normal.
Awkward just means you're building something new. Remember that.
Then come tell us in the comments which question you tackled.
We read every single comment, and we love hearing how it went.
If today helped, share it with someone who freezes in interviews or small talk.
They probably need this exact structure too.
Subscribe, comment, and we'll see you in the next episode.
And here's what we want you to carry today.
You don't need a perfect answer, you need a structure you trust.
Point, reason, example, point. 4 simple steps for any question at all.
And when you don't know something, say so, honestly, and keep going.
Confidence isn't knowing everything, it's knowing how to respond anyway.
Honestly, Ethan, I want to say one more thing before we close.
Go for it.
Sincerely, thank you for sharing that story earlier about learning languages yourself.
That means a lot, honestly. Thank you for listening.
I think it reminded everyone that even hosts of an English podcast once struggled too.
Exactly. Nobody starts confident, everyone builds it slowly over time.
So if today felt hard, that's completely fine. That's exactly where growth starts.
One question at a time, one structured answer at a time.
All right, I think we're really ready to close things out now.
Let's do it.
This is Emma.
And this is Ethan.
Signing off from Learn English Naturally. Bye.
Keep practicing, keep answering, and go tackle that one tough question today.